welcome back to a very nervous Where North End Walk podcast. There's only one thing that can save Preston North End now, many are saying, and it's not Preston themselves. It's a Portsmouth hat-trick at the weekend against Hull. Welcome back. We've got Etienne and Harvey with us. How the bloody hell, Etienne, did we get to this position?
I'm smiling right now, but it's horrific. I think it might be. I don't know how people aren't talking about this more. It's been one of the worst sleepwalks into a relegation fight I think the Championship has ever seen. Yeah. I know it's been coming form-wise, but it should have never got to this. We have had the easiest run-in out of any team in the Championship, and we haven't won a single game. And it's like, all we needed to do was get 3 points, and it's not happened. The boys, the manager, the team, I think everybody at the club needs to be blamed for this because there's just no desire to want to fight, and it's epitomised in this run. And now we find ourselves in a situation that we could have avoided at the start of April. Other teams have started playing for their survival. We've not, and we've only got ourselves to blame.
So, and we take those two results against Plymouth just in isolation here. The 3-0 up at Home Park, drawing 3-3, and then to lose in the manner of which you did. If we go back, Harvey, too, I mean, this is from North End Football Podcast, and they asking the same question here. This is from game week 35. Look at that gap. And to say that now we are a Hull goal and a Luton goal away from going into League One. I'm not a Preston fan, as you know, but even I'm nervous for you. How are you feeling?
I don't feel anything anymore. Like I think I was saying earlier that I think last week it was just so much anger that we've put ourselves in this position to just think that the season's over. You know, there's way too many points. It's a typical North End season. You finish mid-table, and I think that mentality has just crept in week after week after week. And it's just become the same story. Like Etienne said, it was a really easy run-in. And I think, I can't remember the number of weeks in a row I've gone, QPR will beat them, or Derby will beat them, or Hull will beat them. And every week I've been proved wrong. And like Etienne said, it just shows the massive lack of desire in this side. And we more than deserve to be where we are because we've not played anywhere near well enough.
How can a side that's not been in the bottom three, near the bottom three, even in the relegation discussions, Etienne, all season. I mean, apart from obviously Ryan Lowe's little bit, it's just mind-boggling to me.
I don't really know where to go. It's like we are not a side. Yeah, we've been a bit dismal this season. It's been really, really strange. But we are not a side that should be even in this conversation. We have a comfortably better side than most of the squads, and not most of, but you know, Luton and Hull have been horrific this season. We've been jumped by Oxford and Portsmouth, teams that should not be doing that. All due respect to them, we should be ahead of them, and yet we don't deserve to be. We do deserve to be in this relegation fight purely because every other team has stepped up and gone, okay, you know what? We don't want to be relegated. Let's start picking up results. Whereas we describe Saturday as a wake-up call. We've got one more game left this season. One more game against one of the hardest sides in the division. And yet that's a wake-up call. We just lost against bottom of the division. Callum Wright had us on a leash in his 13-minute cameo. He used to play for the Lashes. I'm surprised the stadium didn't explode at that point. It's ridiculous. It's just, I can't blame the owners. I can't blame Risdale, because yes, it is partially their fault, but at the end of the day, it's the players on that pitch that should be picking up a result, and they haven't. And we've lost against the worst team in the division, and now we're a Hull goal and a Luton goal away from going down. And this will be the day that Luton find the back of the net.
Yeah, and it's not even a goal actually, because if you look at it, if Hull draw 0-0 and Luton draw 0-0, Harvey, and you lose, you're gone. It's madness. Let's have a look at the betting odds, shall we? Ultimately, obviously, Hull odds on favourite to go down. But look at your odds at 3-1. It was some bookmakers to head down. I mean, I don't like those odds personally. Harvey, I don't know about you.
My mate literally backed us to get relegated like 2 weeks ago, and that just he doesn't even support North End. which just tells you everything that you need to know about. Even people who don't watch us know how bad we are, and like Etienne's just hit the nail on the head with everything. We should not be getting beat to these teams. Like, obviously, no disrespect, but we honestly, the biggest problem for me was we made a team bottom of the league look like they were in the top 6. They absolutely battered us, and they looked miles better from minute 1 to minute 90, even when they've got nothing to play for. This is a team that is mathematically relegated unless they beat Leeds 30-0, which isn't going to happen. And they still managed to turn over a side that needs to be fighting for their life from minute 1 until minute 90. And I can't watch it without just putting my hands in my head and wondering how we've ended up getting into this position. And it's a joke from start to finish, and I can't feel anything anymore.
Okay. I feel for you, I really do. Because if Hull, God, I can't imagine if Hull score first. Just what that's going to do. Let's talk about Heckingbottom, shall we, Etienne? Because he hasn't been called out all season, I think, by many fans. But obviously the Saturday result. Well, I mean, and the fans turned up as well. The club said, "Look, £5 a ticket, come and support your team." That's what they did. They made the atmosphere. The fans did their bit as they did on Gentry Day, and yet the players, yet again, took the absolute. Took the other mick. John Lee says he's worse than Lowe. His football is awful and coma-inducing. His team selections are odd. His substitutions are discombobulating. To be in a relegation dogfight at this stage is unforgivable. I wanted Lowe gone, but Hecky is making him look like a football genius. And GS66 says Andrew Hughes at left wing back sums this guy up. Right, Etienne, is it time to call out PH?
Yeah, you can't take this team on this kind of run and not expect any criticism. It was after the game that really ticked it off. I mean, really saying it was a wake-up call. No, the wake-up call should have been the first game that we drew against Stoke.
Yeah.
That boggles, man. And I turned up, I was sat in the Kop. I was at the Hull game as well, which was just... First 45, we looked like a team that wanted to stay up. Second 45, we did nothing. And we just carried that performance on against Plymouth. And I was sat in the stand thinking, why aren't we bringing Jayden Magoma on? They have a midfielder at right back. Why aren't we bringing Jayden Magoma on? He kept Andrew Hughes there, put Brady out there with some weird substitutes in the middle. We were playing 3 strikers at one point, and it screamed desperation. And what I got from it was a man who, I do want him at the wheel, whether we go down or we stay up. I do think we still need that summer window, but he's lacking a plan B. This is the issue we had with Lowe as well. Both managers lacking a plan B, not being able to switch from 5 back. I think regardless of the players that you have at your disposal, you've got to find a way. And it just felt like during that game, we had no other ideas. We kept punting it. We kept missing crucial chances. I think Heckingbottom needs a lot of blame for that.
Yeah. There's also some people calling out others here, Harvey. Let's have a look at this one. Paul says, "What an effing shambles. The club is effed. And the Hemmings and Riddler's fault. They've run the club like SHT, and the way they've run it is the reason we're League One bound. We need a massive change at the top of the club before next season. Absolutely zero improvement over." And it's not the only one to be shouting out Ridsdale. Here we are again. In fact, we had Oxford talking about this exact issue earlier. Of course, they know him well, and aren't surprised you are where you are given you using him. Is this, presume you survive, is this going to launch the calls again for changes throughout the club, not just on the pitch?
The problem is, I think regardless of what you do, I don't think it's going to change, because I think, as sad as it sounds, I think this club is just happy to just deal with the mediocrity. You pay the wages, keep your club afloat, and that's it. But the problem is that I think if this isn't a wake-up call to the higher-ups that, all well and great, you've been consistent for so long, but now you are facing a drop into a league you haven't been in since 2014, I think it is, then what is it going to take to get that one step further, to actually be a club that wants to thrive and wants to achieve and wants to just do something else other than either walk your way through League One or walk your way into mid-table in the Championship. Something has to click, and it has to start from the top. And I think until that happens, whether it's new owners or Ridsdale being gone, I don't care what it takes, but it needs to start at the top, and it needs to be very, very quickly. Otherwise, this could be a very, very bad pattern for North End, and I think many, many fans are getting the idea that we're going into that pattern, and it needs to end.
One final one, Carl says this has been the biggest collapse of any team ever. We had a probability of 0.1 of going down a few weeks ago. Now, probably 99%. He's not the person to take us forward. The football has never been as bad. Is that true, Etienne? That the football has never been as bad? I mean, you've had some shocking managers of the time, but is this as low as you felt as a North End fan?
The issue I have with the style of play is I did not think we actually played that bad on Saturday when you look at it as a general performance, but it was more the mentality of the team not wanting to keep creating. I've never seen a team coast to 21 shots before, and yet we managed it, and we still lost the game. We just seem to have this passive way of playing, and I think it's been shown up with this run of form, just so passive. I don't think the football's worse than low, which is contradictory because he had his 10th and we're now about to go down. But yeah, it's in terms of like a general feel to the club, the way everything's going, I think this is the lowest. That game was the lowest I've ever felt as a fan.
Okay. All right, we've done the doom and gloom. Now let's switch gears and keep it positive. Obviously, as you know, we talked to all 23 fan bases across there. We spoke to our Hull fans last night. They have no qualms whatsoever of what the outcome is going to be on Saturday. They say they are going down. They will not beat Portsmouth. They are a shambles. They can't score. They can't defend. They've got key players out. And there is fractions amongst their players. They say that during the international break, some of their key players were told to go and find another club. And since the international break, they've been absolutely awful. So, Harvey, Portsmouth are great at home, right? They want to beat Hull because in January, they tried to get Abu Kamara back to Portsmouth from Hull. Hull slapped a £4 million buyout fee on it, so eventually captured him and kept him there. Portsmouth haven't forgotten about that, and they said when we spoke to their fans, they'd love nothing more but to send Hull down to free Abu Kamara. So, a Portsmouth goal either side of half-time is all you need. You don't need to worry about what happens at Ashton Gate. If Portsmouth beat Hull, we're here again next season, yeah? Let's keep it positive.
Trying my best.
I love you, Colby Bishop. Please score a hat-trick. I've always loved you.
The problem is I've seen way too many Portsmouth fans say that their players are already on the beach. They've already confirmed safety. They've got nothing to play for. And albeit, yeah, Hull might not be great, but I think as players, I think the other clubs have that mentality that we don't. And I think that if they can go into that game and think, yeah, great, we've got Abu Kamara, they hate us for having him. If they can hold on for 90 minutes to a draw, that's it. That is it. The problem with North End is that we are constantly having to rely on other teams. And I think the time has come where it's finally going to bite us. And that is why I just have no hope whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how will you cope? What will your Friday night, Saturday morning be like? Ideas. Will you sleep?
Friday night I'm working, so that's like a distraction at least. And then Saturday, I think I'm just going to hold my pillow really closely in case I need to cry and just watch it in pure fear.
Okay. Yeah. Look, we wish you all the very best. We can't have North End down. It just beggars belief. We've been sat here for 5, 6 weeks just plodding along, just going, yeah, the season's nearly over, just get to that 50 points, and they've been stuck on 49 for weeks and weeks and weeks, and even just one more point wouldn't put you 50 points would put you in the same position as Derby and Stoke, and even they would need more points than you to get over the point. So it's just, yeah. Absolutely head scratching. Look, if you're a North End fan and as nervous as these two, do drop us a comment, and we'll reply back to you. Right, other things to discuss then this week. Well, actually, forget it. There's nothing more important, is there, than this result? How do you see it going, Etienne, from all the combinations you've looked at?
I'm one of the few that do think Portsmouth are going to get a result. I'm scared at some of their squad selections. However, like they put Ben Killip in that from memory, who's like their backup and was backup at Barnsley. That terrifies me, especially if Kamara does have a pot shot that finds the top corner. But no, I do. Look, I'm going to stick with my guns and say Portsmouth are going to beat Hull, and I think we're going to be okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to be in the pub on Saturday, not shaking, not terrified of us. That a foot mob's going to be open all the time. Let's say that foot mob is always going to be open. Somehow, if Luton don't beat this horrible West Brom team, that's a miracle in itself as well. But I do think Portsmouth are going to beat Hull.
Neither of you seen you gain anything yourselves at the game?
No,
against Bristol City, right?
No chance. I think if we get lucky, we maybe get a draw. But I think Bristol City are going to be so up for it. I don't think we've ever played them at this stage of the season. I'm from memory, I think we played them at the start of the season last year when there was really nothing to play for. Whereas now, I mean, they have to destroy us to get playoffs, to guarantee playoffs. So I don't think we're going to pick up anything.
Okay, Harvey, how do you see it going?
I really don't want to be that pessimistic person, but I just don't see it. It's just North End look. I do think we go down. I think Hecky goes. I genuinely think he leaves, and I think a lot of key players leave as well. And I think the problem is, I think a lot of fans, even if we was to stay up, I think a lot of them would be like celebrating and being all happy. Even if we stay up, it's been an embarrassing season to be where we are. And I won't celebrate no matter what result we get, but I do see us going down with results around us. Yeah.
I will celebrate a bit, admittedly. Like obviously the relief. You don't want to leave this division right now. I think going back down into League One, you're really going to struggle to come back up. And I still have a bit of confidence going into next season if we were still in the Championship that we would return to being that mid-table side. It's just how much are they going to deal with this close scare and begin to change things?
Okay. Listen, founder members of the Football League, one of the world's oldest football clubs. Football was invented by Preston North End. Some say we can't have the size of this club in League One. As much as Blackpool fans have been ramaging all the North End Twitter feeds this week with all their hopes and dreams, we can't have it happening. Look, players, Paul, if you're watching this, just go out there, have some pride in the shirt, and come on, Portsmouth. That's all I'm going to say. Look, good luck, Etienne. Good luck, Harvey, and Ash, of course, who's ill and watching this. Fingers crossed for you all. We are going to do one more record on this back here next week. Either North End will be safe and we can just have a jolly old time, or we can commiserate and wallow in the fact that North End will be in League One next season. Join us for that. Enjoy the game if you can. We'll see you in 7 days' time. Have a good one.